Good Tuesday evening to y'all. Chase here with a live winter weather update regarding this weekend. The purpose of me going ahead and doing a live out ahead of this is to give you a general idea as to what what I'm thinking, an estimated timeline, the way things are looking that are still a little uncertain, and really the overall impacts of what we will likely see here going into the weekend. But currently, in the meantime, here I'm gonna take a few seconds and share this live to some of the other groups and things. So, in the meantime, just let me know where you're watching from, what city and town or state you're watching from, and we will get right to business here in just a few seconds after I share this out. Alrighty, so let's assess the situation here before we get into the meat and potatoes of all this. We do have a system that's going to come through tomorrow evening and night into Thursday morning, but that's going to be all rain. So the good thing is with this Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, early Thursday deal, that's all rain, not a big deal. The big deal comes late Friday night into early Saturday. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and get started here by showing you what's going to happen first on Friday. On Friday, we're going to have an Arctic front moving through from north to south. Temperatures will likely start in the 40s early in the day, but then they're going to fall into the 30s during the daytime. So we'll likely hit our highs for the day on Friday early in the day before the temperatures gradually drop as the day progresses. So we will already have the cold air moving in as this moisture moves up from Texas and the Gulf. So that really is one ingredient that we need for widespread wintry mischief here. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right to the timing here. So I have this pause. This is one model scenario. This is the Euro, usually the more reliable of the major models. I have it set here for midnight on Friday night, and notice it has the precip already starting out here to the west. Again, Friday night at midnight. The blue you see here, that's snow, and the pink you see here, that's ice. And notice this white out ahead of it, that's nothing, and all these lines you see these are called isobar lines, so nothing importance with those. Watch what happens as we get towards sunrise. This is sunrise on Saturday. Snow to the north, mostly in Tennessee, so state line north, and there's the icing starting to show up across Mississippi and Alabama. This is sunrise Saturday morning. 9 a.m., snow is overspreading the region, so pretty much most of the Chattanooga tri-state area and surrounding areas are basically getting snow at this point, but the ice is slowly creeping in from the south and west. Lunchtime Saturday, the snow rates start increasing. So precip rates will likely start increasing as the day progresses during the day Saturday. So in the morning to start, it may not look all that bad, but as the day progresses, it's looking the way it's looking right now, you will notice that increase in the precip rate, whether it's snow, sleet, whatever it may be. Here we go to 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Notice widespread moderate to heavy snow showing up across middle and east Tennessee with icing south in Alabama and Georgia. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a dramatic cutoff in totals. There we go to 6 o'clock Saturday. Same thing. Now, as we get towards after sunset Saturday night, what's going to happen here is the low passes to the south here, at least in this scenario, warmer air is going to try to invade the middle layers above us, especially as we go into North Alabama, North Georgia, and eventually into southern Tennessee. And that's going to allow that changeover potential to happen to sleet and freezing rain. As you can see by the pink and everything on this map, it's pretty heavy stuff. So as we get into Saturday night here, that's when, at least on the Tennessee side, specifically south of Interstate 40, that's going to be the zone and really the time where we will have to work. Concern will increase for the potential of icing. Again, sleet and freezing rain. Freezing rain's the worst of all. And notice there was midnight, 3 a.m. This model shows widespread sleet and freezing rain with snow basically from I-40 and north. So Nashville, Cookeville, you guys will probably get hammered with heavy snow if this verifies. And then that's going to continue right through the day Sunday. So unfortunately, this is going to be a long duration event. I want you to note that. This is not going to be something that's going to be here for like 6 hours and move out. This could easily be a 24 to 36 to 48 hour storm. This is going to be a slow mover. It's not going to move fast. So unfortunately, this is going to be long duration. So there's Sunday morning approaching lunchtime. This is showing widespread ice. Again, I-40 north, all snow in this scenario. Now, there is a small silver lining that I do want to address here as we get to Sunday afternoon. The Euro does show areas from the Squatchy Valley and east getting a degree or two above freezing, which could, at least temporarily for a few hours, knock a dent into any additional icing accumulation. That would be very good. However, as we get towards Sunday night and early Monday morning, as the moisture begins to wrap up, we'll change back to a little bit of light snow. Temperatures will crash, and anything wet will refreeze and freeze everything. I mean, that's how, because we're going to get into the teens and single digits going into Monday morning. So whatever snow or water or whatever that's out there from the precip this weekend, it's all going to freeze over going into Monday morning. So schools and everything, I would expect closings for sure, really, for at least the first half of next week. Now let's address the other model. The GFS is thankfully, at least as far as an agreement's concerned, timing-wise, it is in better agreement. As you see here, here's Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, as you see here again, starting off with ice, freezing rain, sleet, maybe a little bit of snow across North Alabama, North Georgia, moderate to heavy snow in Tennessee, and then it just keeps, as you notice here, just keeps building throughout the day, into the night, as that mix tries to come north into Sunday and eventually ending by Monday morning. So GFS is actually getting on a similar page, at least as of this afternoon, with the Euro. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's talk totals out of this. Now that we've broken down the timing here, wait till you see the GFS here. Notice it is showing measuring snow in feet across Middle and East Tennessee. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I believe the GFS is being overdramatic here. There is no way, unless we somehow see all snow everywhere, and really heavy at that somebody gets 20 to 30 inches of snow. I don't see that happening. A more realistic chance would more than likely be in the 6 to 12 range, not the 20 you see here on this map. I don't believe this GFS whatsoever. That's why I believe in the Euro run more, because I feel, at least right now, it gives the better representation. And based on experience and things, that helps too. And it shows, again, across Tennessee, the heaviest snow amounts being across Tennessee. So, as I said, amounts could range easily from a few inches to possibly upwards of a foot or more. I mean, it's a real possibility here, friends. I'm not definitely guaranteeing it, but it's a legitimate chance. Especially if we get the snow to last longer and the warm nose can hold off longer. Now, as far as the icing is concerned, because I know that's the number one concern, here's what that looks like. GFS has the icing farther south across Alabama and Georgia with significant amounts. The Euro brings that freezing rain pretty much area-wide, as you see here, and it shows widespread quarter to half inch of freezing rain. And for our area, that is significant. If we get a quarter to half inch of freezing rain in our area, that will be very bad. I mean, you talk about downing trees, power outages, very, if not impossible road travel, because this freezing rain will be on top of accumulating snow that has already fallen. So you're adding one layer of snow, possibly a big layer, and then on top of that you're adding ice. Now, of course, that will compact because it's rain, but it will freeze that, and it's just going to cause all kinds of problems. So I just want you to be aware that we are in for potentially all forms of wintry precipitation this weekend, Saturday night, and Sunday. All areas have the potential of snow of major snow and ice accumulations. The major snow accumulations are going to line up mostly in Tennessee, with some light accumulation potentially south in North Alabama and Northwest Georgia. And the heaviest ice accumulations are looking to line up from about Chattanooga, Winchester, Jasper, Cleveland, and south. all the way down into North Alabama and North Georgia the way I'm seeing it right now. Again, there will also be some ice accumulation potentially, little lighter but still impactful as you get up towards McMinnville and Cookeville and I-40. But it's looking like from Nashville and that area north, it looks like that will be mostly snow the way I'm seeing it here. So I really do believe that the majority of us are going to see all kinds of different precip when it comes to wintry weather. So in the coming days here, as I show you this map here, this is basically what I'm thinking. This is my first call, as I showed earlier. In case you missed it, here it is. This is what I call my first call for what I believe is who is more likely to get what. As I say that, I do believe that the National Weather Service here, within the next 24 to 48 hours, I do believe we will start seeing winter storm watches being issued, especially if the confidence continues to increase. So if the confidence continues to increase over the next 24 to 48 hours, I would suspect a watch to be issued, a winter storm watch to be issued at least at some point. And considering the way the icing is looking, it would not be surprising to see at least some of us be included in what's called an ice storm warning. And that's not something you hear very often, so I want you to be ready for that if that were to be issued. But either way, all areas have the risk for snow and ice. So it doesn't matter what kind of alert you get, whether it's a winter storm watch, a winter storm warning, or an ice storm warning, all areas are in line for wintry precip and potentially significant wintry precip. I mean, it's been a long time since we've had this kind of winter storm, especially such an upper level like this in our area. Yeah, we had the big one in January of last year and the one before that, but this one right here could top all of them in some fashion, whether it's from ice and or snow. We just have to wait and see the placement. What's going to determine what we all get as far as snow and ice is concerned, how much and when and all that, is going to depend on how strong or weak an area of high pressure is that's going to set up over the northern plains. If that high is stronger, it'll allow a more southern track, which means more snow for us. And as you saw with those snow maps, those snow accumulations could be very significant. If the high pressure ridge is weaker to our north and northwest, then that would allow a more northern track, therefore more icing. So those are the two scenarios we're looking at. A weaker high, more icing; stronger high, more snow. As I said, this will continue to get ironed out over the next several days, especially as we get over here for the next 72 to 100 and something hours. We will continue to fine-tune this. The low pressure center is actually in the development phases right now out in the desert southwest, and it's going to really intensify once it gets into Texas on Friday. So as that intensifies, and we get into the range of the short-range modeling like the HUR and NAM models, we will get into better resolution, clarity will improve, timing will improve, and overall impacts as far as clarity on that will get better. So I will definitely be able to say for darn sure by the time we get towards the end of this week what we will see for sure. But one thing I can tell you right now, as of this evening, Tuesday evening, January 20th, for this weekend, expect a whopper of a winter storm. Plain and simple. I mean, you can see here on this map, the axis and the battle zone of the snow and ice is looking to set up right on top of us, right over us. I mean, we are right on the line between heavy snow and heavy ice. I mean, we are just in that battle zone this time around. Again, this map may flip a little bit. You may see the pink go north, you may see the blue go south. That's all going to depend on how this low develops and how the system and everything else develops as it develops out to the west and eventually moves our way. So again, the big takeaway, as I said again, I'll say it again, expect a very significant winter storm this weekend with the potential for significant snowfall and significant ice accumulations. The significant ice accumulations will be areas near and south of the Tennessee state line into Alabama and Georgia. The heaviest snow accumulations will be across pretty much most of middle and east Tennessee. So what I'm going to do here is go right into the comments here on my page here and see if I can answer a few questions here. It says here someone said they are sending a hurricane hunter plane into this in Cali to see what it's like for more details, and that is actually very true. Just to show you how dynamic this storm system is, what I just said is true. NOAA is actually sending out hurricane hunters to check out that area of low pressure out in the southwest as it develops. So if that tells you how serious this is, that never usually happens. Usually they're sent out for hurricanes. They're being sent out actually for a winter storm. That's pretty significant. So let me answer another question here. With Dutton being on the mountain, do you think we could get a bit more snow than around Scottsboro? It's possible, but it's really hard to tell at this range. We're not to the point of the short range modeling yet, and that's really the only way I could be able to like really answer that. Really, anybody be able to answer that, especially in short range. So in long range, I should say. So once we get within 48 hours, that's when the convective line models will be in range. That's the HER and the NAM, and that will be able to tell elevation and all that stuff. But there is the possibility, but I'll be honest with you, if you're in North Alabama and North Georgia, you're more than likely to see ice more than anything else, the way it's looking as of today, as far as this weekend is going. So is Winchester going to get mostly ice or snow? Going to be honest, you're likely going to see both. I mean, the way it's looking, you're probably going to have all precip types out of this. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow. When is this going to start this weekend? Early Saturday morning. Once this video is done, if you want, you can go back and replay the first part, because I walked it through with the Euro model. So if you want to go back and watch that after this is done, feel free. How much snow for Meigs County? Could range from a few to several inches. I'm not saying exact numbers as far as like really putting out a map just yet, but with the potential this has, with the high amount of moisture there is, if you get heavy snow for a long period of time, it's going to pile up. And pile up in a way you probably haven't seen in a while. Someone also missed the timeline. When does it start? As I said, Saturday early morning. Possibly as early as midnight Friday night, but again, really more than likely early Saturday morning as far as the start time. Murfreesboro looks like mostly snow for y'all, but I think y'all might get some sleet that might mix in. Let's see here. Hope we get a good amount of McMinnville ready to sled. What about Chatsworth? Chatsworth, you're going to be right on the line, even though it does appear, especially on this map that I've created here, you look to be more on the icing side as opposed to the snow side, as far as the Chatsworth Dalton area is concerned. Alrighty, so I answered a few questions there. So what I'll do one more time before signing off here, we'll go through the timeline. Again, I'll use the Euro because it's more reliable, specifically in the long range. I'm hoping this will work here, but that's okay if it doesn't. There we go. So let's walk through it again one more time. And again, I'll use the Euro run for this. Here is just after midnight, Friday night, early Saturday morning. Time, I know it's kind of small, but it says 3 a.m. Notice there's your snow in blue, orange sleet, purple freezing rain out to the west still. There's sunrise to about 9 a.m. right there. Precip moves in. This actually has it starting as snow with that freezing rain and sleet not far south. Then as the day progresses, that precip rate really increases. Moderate to heavy snow across pretty much almost all of Tennessee. And then the icing increasing across North Alabama and North Georgia. That continues, and then eventually, as we get towards sunset and afterwards Saturday night, that mixing starts to shift up into southern Tennessee. So Chattanooga area, Marion County, Franklin, Lincoln County, Cleveland area. You'll probably start seeing that mixing probably as early as dinner time on Saturday. And then that's just going to keep trying to push north. So it may actually get up into the parts of the upper Cumberland there just south of I-40. So that would include Pikeville, maybe even Crossville, Sparta, McMinnville, Manchester. You guys may get some icing out of this too. And notice that just continues throughout the night into the day Sunday before the precip finally gets out of here Sunday night late into early Monday morning. And then after that, it's the deep freeze because we're going to be in the single digits and teens for lows Monday and Tuesday mornings of next week. And there's also that potential when you add in the snowpack that, especially on the Tennessee side, those lows could be lower because that's what that snowpack does. It tends to reduce the amount of warming that can happen. Even if it's sunshine on Monday or Tuesday, it can limit how much it warms. So that snowpack can really lead to problems as far as being able to warm is concerned through at least the first part of next week. So I would definitely anticipate schools being closed if current trends verify for at least the first part of next week. If not, potentially through the rest of January. Next week is the last week of January anyways. But at the same time, really through the end of January, I wouldn't be surprised if schools stay closed. And the good thing is, after this system, as far as after this system goes, I'm not seeing anything the rest of next week. So the good thing is, all of next week is currently looking dry, cold, but dry. So we won't have any added salt to the wound or anything like that, thankfully, as far as precip goes next week. So next week will be dry. We'll have some rain tomorrow evening and night into early Thursday, but that'll be all liquid. And then the big winter storm hits Saturday, Saturday night, and Sunday, ending Sunday night. So that's kind of the recap on everything there. Alrighty, guys, with that said here, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I also broadcasted this on my YouTube channel as well at Chase Bryant Weather. You can go check that out over there as well once this is complete. So I have a YouTube channel that I do live videos and such on over there too if you want to check that out. So with that said here, I hope you guys have a great evening. Stay tuned for updates. I plan on putting up a long written post here sometime probably between 7:30, 8:30ish Central Time, add an hour in the Eastern Time Zone, somewhere around that time. So sometime later this evening, early tonight, I'll have a written post out that basically describes what we just went through in a way and gives you the full details on what I believe could transpire as we go into the weekend here. So with that said, hope you guys have a good and safe evening. Bundle up. It's definitely cold out there, but we will have a small warming trend the next couple days. So enjoy it before the big winter blast and storm moves in.